Ah, whoa. That was a jump scare. Oh. Greetings, you hitherto unseen playtest cards. My name is Graham. Welcome to the Crack-A-Pack. I hope you're doing well. This is a special bonus emergency recording episode of the Crack-A-Pack where we are opening a booster pack of Mystery Booster 2. Some backstory. If you're unfamiliar with Mystery Booster, which we've opened a lot on Crack-A-Pack, it's a set of nearly 1,700 cards. So you never really know what you're going to get from all across Magic, and also it includes some playtest cards, which are absolutely weird and wacky cards that often don't work within the rules of Magic, but that are legal to play in Mystery Booster, and it was originally created as something to play at Magic conventions, and then the pandemic happened, and then they released an in-store version, and it's a super fun time, and people have been demanding, well, I've been demanding, Mystery Booster 2. This past weekend was Gen Con in Indianapolis. Wizards had a much larger presence there than they've had in the past, and part of that was announcing Mystery Booster 2. Now, how do I have this? Well, also at Gen Con was Game Nights Live, and part of Game Nights Live was James. James works in the back on Game Nights Live. We allow, it's like a resource share. We let them use James. They pay him. Gavin announced Mystery Booster 2 at the convention and also ran the first 2 Mystery Booster draft pods featuring some of your favorite Magic personalities who were also at Gen Con. And James. It's okay. He said I could make that joke. He wrote that joke. After the drafts were done, which also James would like me to tell you, he won his pod. So really, he was the first person to win a Mystery Booster 2 draft and has such retired champion. Some packs were handed out, and he brought one back to the office this morning, and we're recording today to get this out to you immediately because we figure, why not? Not all the cards have been revealed. Let's find out what's in the mystery boosters. Wonderful. Now, previously, the pack collation was you had 2 commons of each color, and then some other stuff. But there's some other card frames in here as well, so I'm excited to see. Imposing Vantasaur is our first card. It's 5 and a white for a 3/6, Dinosaur with Vigilance, and Cycling 1. So you see that it has a little Planeswalker symbol in the very bottom left corner, and the expansion symbol of the set it was originally released, which was Ikoria. The expansion symbols, I've said before, is one of my favorite parts of this, because especially when they do reprints of cards from like the dual decks, and you're like, what expansion symbol is this? I enjoy that. Our second white common is Soltari Trooper from Tempest, printed in the retro frame. So it's 1 and a white for a 1/1 soldier with Shadow, and if it attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Is that can't be the current Oracle text for this card. If Soltari Trooper attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn? Hey, Paul, that's got to be archaic templating, right?
That is, in fact, the original Tempest text.
That's what I thought, because now
it's just whenever it attacks.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Whoa! This is the plane-shifted frame from Checks notes. Plane shift. This is Merfolk Thaumaturgist. 2 and a blue for a 1/2 Merfolk Wizard. Tap to switch target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. They went deep on some of these references. Okay. Second blue common is Seal of Removal. Single blue for an enchantment from the one with the halberd. I don't remember what expansion this is. Sacrifice Seal of Removal, return target creature to its owner's hand. Boy, the saturation on this is great. These printings look real nice.
It's Nemesis.
Nemesis. Next, wow, from Shadowmoor, Beseech the Queen. Either 3 black... So it's... Okay, this is weird. It's hybrid mana that's either 2 generic mana or black. And it's 3 of those pips. It's a sorcery. Search your library for a card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control, reveal it, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. I forgot this was an uncommon. And I've been saying like our second common, but really these are just any rarity, because we have another uncommon here. It's Call the Bloodline. 1 and a black for an enchantment from Shadows over Innistrad for 1 mana, and discard a card, put a +1/+1 black Vampire Knight token with lifelink onto the battlefield. Activate this ability only once each turn. Help fuel your delirium. This was a fun build around. Now a card with its printing from Modern Masters 3, it's Scourge Devil. 4 and a red for a 3/3 Devil. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn, and it has Unearth for 2 and a red. Next up, we have Sparksmith. 1 and a red for a 1/1 Goblin. Tap, and it deals X damage to target creature and X damage to you, where X is the number of goblins in play. From Legions. Legions? Onslaught. The one with the legs. Not Legions. Onslaught.
Onslaught.
Onslaught. This is why I love Mystery Booster. Changeling Titan. 4 and a green for a 7/7 shapeshifter with Changeling. Champion a creature. When it comes into play, sacrifice it unless you exile another creature you control from the game, and then when this leaves play, that card comes back. But it's a 7/7 for 5. Sweet. And Scale Up. Single green mana, sorcery until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a worm with base power and toughness 6/4, or you can overload it for 4 green, and then all your creatures become 6/4 worms until end of turn, and that frequently wins games of Limited. Okay, so now we're through the full Wooburg, we're through the full Wooburg. Why do I keep wanting to say Werburg? So now we're through the full Wooburg cycle, and I don't know what to expect for the remainder of this pack. It's a ghost town. What the heck? Ghost town. Land. Tap to add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. For 0 mana, return ghost town to owner's hand. Use this ability only during another player's turn. Why? Okay. Next. Holy moly, it's Questing Beast. Straight from Throne of Eldraine. 2 green for a 4/4 legendary creature beast. Say it with me now, you all know it by heart, don't you? Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Questing Beast can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented, and whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target planeswalker that player controls. Yay! Dang. You know, honestly, these are nice cardstock. I could have probably flicked something other than James's Questing Beast to test that, but oh well. Next. That was a jump scare. Okay. So they're printing the cards with the retro frame. And as we saw, the plane shift frame, and I've seen a couple spoilers online of things with the future sight frame, but they're also printing cards that have never before been printed in the white frames. I don't know how many years it's been. It's probably been a decade or more since they've printed new cards with white card frames. But especially with the way that they designed the bottom of the new frames, the white is so big. In particular, on Planeswalkers? Good lord. Well, great news, everyone. It's Sarah the Benevolent. 2 white for a legendary Planeswalker. 4 loyalty. Wow, this is difficult to look at. +2 creatures you control with flying get +1/+1 until end of turn. -3, make a Sarah Angel token, essentially. And then -6, you get an emblem with, if you control a creature, damage that would reduce your life total to less than 1, reduces it to 1 instead. That is... There's 2 more cards. What? Oh, right, because of course we've got the playtest card as well. No, first we have Grinding Station in the Future Sight frame. 2 mana for an artifact. Tap, sacrifice an artifact. Target player mills 3 cards. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, you may untap Grinding Station. This looks like a different game. Oh, this is interesting. Also, Sarah and the Grinding Station... because I guess it's because they've never been printed looking like this before. All the other cards I mentioned, they have those expansion symbols. These 2 have a new expansion symbol of a question mark, which I guess is for Mystery Booster. Something about the combination of the art, and it's by Greg Staples, who's done art for other Magic cards. It's not like it's an unusual artist. Something about the art and the Future Sight frame. This doesn't look like a Magic card. That is wild. Also, I forgot that the Future Sight symbol for an artifact is like the Grail. Like a goblet in the top corner of the card. Okay, cool. And finally, our playtest card. By the way, a change they've made to the playtest cards this time is that they The art still looks like a funny sketch, but they're actually, the overall quality of them is a lot higher, and they credit the artists, and a lot of them are by actual magic artists this time, rather than literally just people in R&D drawing stuff uncredited, and some of them are way better than others. Sorry. This one is not one I've seen. Blurry Visionary. The art is a wizard with glasses. 3 and a blue for a 3/2 human wizard. When Blurry Visionary enters the battlefield, look at the top 2 cards of your library and put them back to back in the same sleeve with either card in front. They become a modal double-faced card for the rest of the game. Then put that card in your hand. What a great idea! What card is this on? You see just a sliver of the art. It's some blue card. I love Blurry Visionary. That's hilarious.
As a side note, the last set with white border was 9th edition.
Dang.
From July 2005.
It's been 19 years? Holy crap. All right. So if I'm sitting down to draft, I don't know what any of these fancy nonsense cards are worth, so, you know, let's just remove that from the equation. If I'm sitting down to draft Mystery Booster 2, I guess it's up in the air between Sarah the Benevolent and Questing Beast, and you know what? I'll take the white bordered Sarah, mostly for the psychic damage it will inflict on my opponent. Boy, that's amazing. Well, hey, thanks, James, for dropping this off this morning. I'll make sure to put it back into your cubby. Thanks, Gavin, for doing this and giving this pack to James. They didn't ask us to do this, but we figured, why not? We have an opportunity to do something really funny. Thanks, you all, for watching and being here. Everything we do at Loading Ready Run is brought to you by you and your support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun or by becoming a member on this channel. Until next time, I have been Graham, joined by Paul on tech. I'm editing this one. Heather is getting it online, and we'll talk to you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.